Welcome to Temptations Night here on Wolfgan's Tabletop. We're down one player again tonight, but I think they're coming back from vacation, so they'll be back next time. They've just been on a nice extended holiday, good for them. But yeah, welcome to our every other Thursday night game, DM'd by our lovely psychic gamer, who I will now turn it over to. Take it away,
Yes, we are
Jim.
DM'd by the Australians, so God help a lot of yous when I start making references to shit and none of you were understanding. But
We're
no,
all
welcome
used to
to
that, dude. That's what
True.
half of the show is. Every
Welcome
I mean,
show.
I
to
might understand it. I
Temptations.
watch a lot of Australian shit, so
True.
Bluey. I watch a lot of Bluey.
just no.
I don't. Anyway, welcome to Temptations. This
That's
is
loud.
episode 8, and a lot happened last episode, and I've always wanted to use that line in a D&D show of some sort. And a lot happened. We left off the session before in the church, with Torval kind of being a dick and summoned an apparition of Lando. After a little bit of a tussle, Lando fighting and getting his shit absolutely kicked in, because he is a lower level than everybody else was. Charles appeared and dropped some quick information about Torval being a dick, basically, and had stopped time, caused an explosion, protected us, and teleported us to a new kind of area, this kind of like open meadow field. But before that, Corol was actually teleported away due to Torval's magic, and it cut off his hand, which was
I'm wondering if
interesting.
the player knows that yet.
Well, if
He
they
is
don't, it's
watching
gonna
this to
make it
catch up
even
stuff.
better.
Oh,
Surprise!
surprise!
If you don't, lol.
There's some
If you
great
do,
people in
still a lol.
history that lost their hand and still were perfectly fine. You've
But
got Luke
specifically,
You know
Skywalker,
what?
Anakin
I
Skywalker.
specifically made it his dominant hand as well.
Yeah, that was
Yep, you did.
mean.
Because I asked
Is
him what hand does
yep.
Coral use, and he said that he uses his right hand. So I'm like, your right hand's gone. That will come to a head later, with everything that's going on there. But we were teleported to a meadow. Charles dropped a lot of information, especially around Hermona and the blood crystals, explaining that blood crystals are not good. There was a few examples of that already between the guard outside of. Ura. There's also the zombie that used Thunderwave in Birrell's basement. So the magic has kind of been around for a little while, and starting to crystallize in some forms. Also explaining that Charles is going to take out, or try and find Coral. Explaining that Torval is not technically dead. He cannot technically die yet, but each time he does die, he loses a little bit of his power.
Yeah,
So
the Horcrux thing.
unlike most media, when you kill him and they come back stronger, you kill him, he comes back weaker, which is going to be a really fun power move later. But aside from that, he placed you guys about 25-30 minutes to the west of Teague, which was a place that Charles had explained was probably the next best bet, in where to go. Had also given a little bit of information for Rose,
He didn't
kind of
give me
subtly.
shit, if I
Kind of
remember.
gave you a little bit of like, he did give you one big kind of slip up in when you find Hermona, you need to ask her about some things.
He did tell me
That's
that.
probably the biggest slip up, to kind of confirm that Hermona is alive.
Remind me too. I think I noticed that there was some kind of ghostly force that may or may not
Yes.
have been okay,
Yeah, so
like
you had noticed
controlling
that there was
him,
a
or
hand that was kind of on his head,
yeah.
and was kind of squeezing a little bit around his forehead and the temples, etc. Another thing that was mentioned was that we needed to find a lady called Anamalie, who is the leader of the town, which we later find out from a priest, the new priest of the Church of Corol, that Anamalie is the blacksmith of the city. So there's that. You also activated the teleporter, the teleportation circle in Teague, and you found out that you have a couple of other places that you can go to, but it does cost a fair bit of gold per person. And then What else was there? There was so much that happened last session, and I spent 15 minutes browsing through the episode to remember
I do that
and my
too.
note. Um,
The real reason
so
I wanted to stream was so I would have a record of all my past episodes if I needed them. That's how this
right,
all started.
smart,
That's my secret cat.
incredibly smart idea. But yes, so we left off the last session in the Church of Chronobol, atop the red sand. The priest had used his slight control over time itself to reappear the bookshelf that has a bunch of books on both Chrono and on Baal, which Arendelle is absolutely gunning for when it comes to books for the religion. Chronobol does not believe in bread and butterfly, but believes in the idea that there are more gods of hope, which does count as a +1 to bread and butterfly's influence. Which is another thing that we started. We have a religion system of
Yeah.
believers that will eventually come to light
Oh, hold
at
on. Was
some
I
point.
tracking that? Let's see.
Why?
I'm already
Why?
tracking
Why?
that.
Why is this the second idea I've had that has now created a tracker in a game?
I mean, I think
Because
it's
of people.
brilliant. I always had the idea that you could create gods because I feel like if you pray hard enough, you can just create a god in a game of D&D. And especially when this campaign is going to be so heavily focused around the ideas of gods, mortals, immortality, and stuff like that. I always had the idea in my mind, but the idea of like tracking it and now it's getting more powerful, that was all you. I was gonna
I'm
let it go.
so glad.
So
I'm
our
so
end
glad.
game, is to get bread and butterfly so powerful that we can
Defeats
like
the other.
divine intervention them, and they just save the day.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
imagining there's people like in great fear of bread and butterfly, and they call him "he who flaps the world."
He who flaps the world. Wow.
you better watch out.
Um.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Boo.
So
If he gets angry, you're toast.
you guys are going to love some of the things that I have created. Because he is a god, and because they are a god, and they do have direct relation to story. I did make a bread and butterfly monster stat block. That has a whole bunch of things, and all of the abilities are bread puns. So I hope you are happy with that.
I love
Uh,
that so much.
I am
I'm very
happy with
happy, and I
that.
haven't even seen it yet.
So that'll come later. But yeah, so there is a creature for that. But right now, after all of the recap, Val and Rose, you two are the ones that have decided to head down to the blacksmith after getting some info from the priest of Credibol, to which we are naming Jeffrey.
Greg Jeffrey.
Greg Jeffrey, there we go. Greg Jeffrey has given you the information that Anamalie is the blacksmith. That is where we ended. Finally, after all that. So starting off, are we going to be heading straight there? Do you guys want to do a little bit more exploring around the town? What do you want to do? How are
Well,
you
well,
feeling?
well, real quick, I think while they're walking, Val might I guess tug on Rose's sleeve and be like, I was we haven't had much time to think in general, but I had a realization that it may be logical that Hermona might be on the other side of the chasm already hiding. If she was as versed in magic as it sounds like, maybe she might be hiding over there.
That does make sense. I mean, can't imagine her thriving in a place to where she couldn't do any magic. Yeah, I think you might be right. I don't think she's on this side of the chasm.
Yeah,
God,
maybe we should
I wish you would have given me more information though. It was so frustrating. I feel like we were so close to getting some answers and then but I know she's alive, so that's something.
it, it gives a lot of hope, as you would say. Yeah, so I do believe we might need to find a couple more answers here, but I do believe maybe our next destination we should aim for. the other side. To try to find something about there, how to get there.
Did they mention that there was a teleportation in this town that would take us over there? I believe he did say that, yes?
You
Perhaps
have a teleportation circle registered on the other side.
That's right.
However, it will cost 75 gold per person in the party to be able to get over there. So you do have a way over there, definitely, but it's going to be pretty expensive.
Okay.
You can also go. You Rose got Teague, Ura, and Baylor free. We've not been to Baylor yet, but you have those free.
you personally, if you want to
Yeah.
leave us behind.
I think I did mention that you can teleport the party, but I believe the price is per person.
yeah, that's. I remember you saying it's per person.
I'm glad somebody else does, because I was like, did I just pull that out of my arse?
You also said you can only take 2 people with you to kind of like limit us when we're a party of 4, but we're kind of not right now.
You have one session to get
Wherever we want to
225
go.
gold pieces to get over there.
So
All right,
go check the bounty boards.
that's our goal right now.
All right, we go check the bounty boards. We oh, that's all I got actually. That's the only idea I've got.
I think we can use that that artificer spell where you like make it where you make something like light up, or you make it make a sound or whatever. We can do that and like sell little toys. We can make so much money.
We could.
Level are we
Aaron,
supposed to be, by the way?
I'm sorry.
Are we level 4?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arendelle also strikes me as the kind of a person who's definitely carrying weed or something. We could sell some of that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But also doesn't know what it is. Just kind of pulls it out. Like,
Right.
Is this worth anything?
I don't know. I thought it was an herb. I put it in my spaghetti the other day, and it made it real good.
Everybody seemed to like it.
Oh god. If it's not legal, don't do it. If it is legal, go ahead.
Depends on what state
It's
you're in.
decriminalized.
Depends on what state you're in. If you're in a state of depression, that's probably not recommended.
Hey.
Alright. So, after our little conversation, that we believe that Hermione's on the other side, which is logical, what would you like to do? We are in a new town. We have an idea of where we can go. Arendelle is enamored by a bookshelf that just appeared with texts of Chrono and Ball.
Appeared. Do you want to wait for Arendelle to complete what she's doing before we talk to the mayor, or would you like to just go? I will follow your lead.
I think we could give Arendelle a minute or two. I'm not really in a hurry, and to be honest, I don't want to split up any further. I mean, we've already lost Corol and Lando too. Let's just I can wait.
Right. That sounds like it would be a good idea. Hang on, I have an idea. So,
Arendelle, please roll me a flat d4.
I was about to pick up dice. Hold on.
A flat d4. 4. I would like to know what Val and Rose are going to do for the next 4 hours.
4 hours.
See, that just sounds like I'm just beginning, though.
All right, let's see.
At the end of the 4 hours, you will get dragged. They're like, absolutely the fuck not.
I feel like the first hour, I would probably just wait, in the church, and then after about an hour, I would realize this isn't going to be over anytime soon. And would you maybe like to go grab something to eat or something? I think this is going to take a lot longer than we thought.
Yes, I do believe we may need some replenishment of our
Let's see if we can find a
you guys
tavern.
You guys went ahead and visited the blacksmith, right?
No, we're waiting on you for that.
Already happened. Oh, okay. Well, across the street from the church is a sheriff. I don't know why I'm holding it up like you can see this. Across the street, across the street from the church is a sheriff, and then diagonally like that is an inn.
What?
So
They
on the
might
map,
have
the
something at the
inn
end.
is top left, sheriff is top right, and then the blacksmith is bottom left. Bottom right.
Because we're on roll 20, I can show the top left thing.
And the rest, you cry.
Uh, I think I do think there was an N. They might have some food.
I feel like Arendelle had a book and she pulled it out and she was like, "This is the 10 map of the town, and these are things you can do while I'm reading all these books."
It's one of those like tourist guides.
Yeah, it's not like tourist pamphlet where it's like.
And you'll hold it up and it starts falling out, flipping.
They're gonna be a while for sure. I could really use something to eat.
Yes,
I could really use a drink too.
Name.
So
yes,
yeah, I think we'll
yes.
just. Oh, sorry.
I do feel a little parched from our many adventures.
Oh,
Yeah, so I think we'll try to kill some time getting something to eat and just again waiting.
awesome.
You
Ever
said I'm not
decreasing
allowed.
patience.
You said I'm not. We're not allowed to have vehicles, right? At least, definitely not that.
There
Not
was
on this.
no mention of any vehicles, yes or no.
Well, because you had when we had. Okay, so here's what I remember. The reason I said that before we went into the last town we were in, and we were at the warp circle with Charles.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that those warp circles were going to be our way to travel, and we're not gonna have.
That was the main form of like fast travel, long distance travel.
Excellent.
I think he was just
Vehicles
saying he's
are
not
not
giving us an airship.
typically
Like,
vehicles are not typically used due to the fact of each major city tends to have a teleportation circle. So it seems a bit counterintuitive to have vehicles to go on a long road trip when you can literally get there in 10 seconds. And that also works for Ashdol on the other side as well. But the
see,
other side is run by artificers of technology, so who knows what's over there?
this is the problem.
I do.
This is the problem with today's society, right? Everyone just needs to slow down. Sometimes you just want to take your horse or your little pony out onto the countryside, see the sights. You know how much we
There's,
miss just poofing about here and there all the time? It's sad,
there's
really.
Rose, who waited 1 hour for Arendelle and immediately decided, fuck this, I'm getting a drink at the pub.
Okay, an hour is not immediately. Waiting an hour on somebody is very generous.
You got 4 hours.
Arendelle's like, "No one told you to wait."
Yeah.
Girl, bye. Okay, so calm down, dice. We are heading to the top left, to the inn. So I will get Rose and Val, my two good friends, to roll me a perception check as soon as you enter the inn, or you can roll it just before you get to the inn. There is no difference. It just depends on how you do it, or where you do it.
Natural 20, 27 total.
That is
And I got an
terrifying.
18, so 21.
So, with
We
the
see
21,
everything.
with the 21, with the 27 as well, everything that I say for Val, obviously, Rose, you're going to notice as well. So, Val, as you kind of step outside, you immediately notice that Anna Batalos is working the forge at the moment. There's a couple of people there, there's a couple of customers, and she's currently whacking away on a anvil, getting everything sorted, getting everything ready. In the top right, in the sheriff's office, you can see through one of the windows into the office, and you notice that there is quite a lot of like metallic chrome and bronze kind of objects in there, whether it's the shelving, whether it's a table, the benches, etc. But you can see that the inside is a lot more sophisticated than what the outside is. It's almost like if you stepped in there, it'd be like stepping into another world, basically. You can also see that even though the ground is paved, you do have the roads, you do have the kind of cobble that everything kind of travels on. You notice that these are the main parts of the town. Obviously, this is where the main 4 kind of parts is that people come in. But as I said, there are a lot of bigger buildings. There's obviously other churches that are in the city. There's other like schools. There's heaps of other places in here. This is just kind of our main hub. And then as you come into the inn, you notice that it's very small. Like, it's not the biggest inn. It's not like a grand affair. It is quite little. You can see the beds on each side as it kind of like opens up into this wide area and then pushes back, kind of like a U shape, almost like it's on the map or something. I don't know.
All right, I'll
But
show
you
it.
can see.
Not that we would know.
But yeah, so at the moment you'll see that the it does have 6 beds that are kind of against the walls on each side as they're pushed down. But in this opening area here, you can see that there is a bar, there are drinks behind, there is a little stage if there are bards that want to come and perform. Yeah, it is just a very basic tavern as you guys come in and notice that it is also dead empty. There's nobody else in here except for the person behind the bar. How would you like to proceed?
Time is it?
You've waited an hour, and I believe you guys got here in the middle of the day. I'd probably say it's around 1:30, 2 p.m.
Okay. I'll just, as soon as we go in, I'll just kind of whisper down to Val. Well, at least we missed the lunch rush, I guess.
Yes,
Excuse me.
Curious.
Do you serve food here?
Well, I wouldn't be an inn if I didn't serve food. What would you like?
I don't need to be a dick about it.
I don't know. Do you have like a menu?
Of course. And he pulls out these 2 just pieces of paper that just has kind of half scribbling on them. I need you both to make me a check. Where did I put my thing here?
It just says, "What do you want?"
I want you both to make me a investigation check on that.
Gotcha. Oh my god!
18.
Another
Another nat
natural
20.
20. Oh, these dice are
Damn,
really
Rose,
Don't use all
pretty.
those up right now.
Fucked later in this campaign.
I'm not trying to.
So
Well, you get all your bad rolls over in the Golden Vault, so
That's fair.
Alrighty, so with a natural 20, you immediately see that there are quite a lot of basic options, but you actually feel a bit of like a peel. Even though it's a single piece of paper, you feel what feels like a peel on the corner, and as you kind of like hold the paper and like start to peel, you see that it does actually show a second page, that and the page kind of folds under, and then it comes back into a single piece of paper. So it's a magical menu. How cool is that?
Why is there so much
I
magic
thought
in
there
a
was something
place
gross
fucking-
and sticky making it stick together. I was like,
no. Val,
That was my
you
first
don't
thought,
notice
too.
it. With an 18, you don't notice, but
Bob Evans
Rose, you notice that
flashbacks.
on the second side, there are a lot more like exotic foods. Like there's a lot more like, like your pheasants, your lobsters, like your rich people foods, that cost the exact same as the other side. Like, bread and soup on the one side, couple of silver, couple of copper. On the other hand, you've got like a full chicken for the same price.
No, I've actually never had lobster. It sounds intriguing. How much is the lobster?
The lobster is 3 silver.
This is gonna give me such bad food poison.
Gross.
It's like ordering lobster at a gas station.
oh God.
Rose
It's
don't know
definitely
the
going to
difference.
taste like the ocean.
Hey, no need to act salty about it, okay?
I'm not going to question it because I really think this is a good price for this. Sir, yeah, can I'd like to have some of the lobster, please.
Where is the nearest ocean?
Ooh, the lobster. So you found the second page. How interesting. Yes, of course, I can get that for you. Ma'am, as well, the ocean is about 2 days' walk to the west.
But there's
It's
the
just where Ulfram
teleportation,
is.
right? I mean, because
Of course.
or they could freeze it, I suppose, with with some ice magic.
So you would like the lobster? That's 3 silver. And for you, little lady, what would you like?
Do you have chicken tenders?
Of course, I can make you whatever you like.
I have some chicken tenders.
Chicken
Okay.
tenders and ketchup, please.
Looking
And mac
at
and cheese.
looking at the menu, Rose, you can see that it's just a basic. No, sorry, not Rose. Val, you can see that it's just a basic menu that has like your typical options at the tavern. Rose, at the bottom, it does say, "I can make you whatever you want" on the
Okay.
secret page. Okay, so the
Kids
chicken tenders
menu?
will be about 5 copper, and your lobster will be 3 silver, please. And he pushes a little plate. It's like a little, like in a Japanese restaurants how they have the little wooden plastic plate
Yeah.
you put the money on.
Mm.
Yeah, so it has like one of those. He like slowly pushes it forwards, and just waits patiently.
I'll put the 3 silver.
How many copper was it?
5 copper.
Okay.
Alright. As soon as the two of you place the money down, a really weird thing happens where the little plate that had the money, you see that it kind of like shoots out a little bit, so it makes it a little bit bigger, folds in on itself, and then goes into the table. After a couple of seconds, you can hear a little bit of a rattling sound, and then the plate comes back up, opens, and goes back into its normal size, and it's not got the money in there anymore.
Hmm.
As the
That's
person
pretty cool.
behind says, "All right, now that that's done, I finally get to do something." And you see that he puts his hand out, like on the table in front of the both of you, just kind of like bashes the table once with his hand and clicks, and there are 2 plates of food right in front of you, and they are steaming hot, fresh.
I don't mean to pry, but how exactly did you do that?
Well, I have been practicing for a long time, and magic.
I'll kind of look at Val. I was under the impression that that wasn't really something we were supposed to be doing.
There's some things that are allowed. Or at least that's what I tell my patrons.
Oh, I'm still trying to kind of get my head around it. I promise I'm not like a cop or anything. What is and isn't allowed? I'm
That's
just.
exactly what a cop would say.
He starts sweating a little bit.
Come on, man. I'm no narc. You can talk to me. Where
Well,
is the line? I'm having trouble really understanding.
If it's helpful, then it can slide. However, if it is not helpful, it won't slide. I need both of you to make me an insight check, please.
Okay.
This dude's adorable.
18.
15, nice.
17.
17.
I'm gonna just
Sweet.
one up you a little bit all night.
All 3 rolls.
With an 18 and a 17, the two of you, he is dodging the question as best as he can.
So, okay, not to nitpick, but I'm under the impression that healing magic specifically is not allowed, but that seems like helpful magic. So
Yes.
I don't really think that lines
Well,
up with what you just told me.
the healing magic is a bit different due to what happened during the Blood War.
Hmm.
Basically put, the blood was able to extend a certain person's life longer than it needed to,
Yeah, we've heard all
they
that.
did not like that.
So as long as you're helping somebody but not healing them, you can do magic.
Yes. It's
I'm gonna
rather
just.
hypocritical, if you ask me. As
Well,
long as someone's okay, it doesn't matter how it works.
that's
So like,
That's just God
kind of how
talk
I
for
felt.
you.
you should ask about Goodberry.
We do have that on the menu. Would
It
you
just
like
seems
one?
like something
He's
kind of
not there.
specific that
Actually,
I
yeah,
didn't ask
Goodberry,
if
are
he
you
was there or
feeding
not.
someone or healing someone? What is the line there? That's an interesting question. I don't have
I
it,
mean, that's
so.
a part of nature, is it not? Well, they don't need to know where it's from, but it looks like a berry.
Hmm. I'm gonna give Val just kind of a side look of I don't think I really trust this guy. Okay,
Yeah, Val's just like.
well, I appreciate the information. I promise not to tell if that's something that you're worried about, but
Oh, I
um,
don't care. You can tell whoever you like. They can't hurt me. I'm gonna just
oh,
come back. Well, in the same form. It's
wait,
me.
what do you mean you would just come back?
Well, you can't kill a god, can you?
Are you saying you're a god?
Yes.
So you know bread and butterfly?
Oh, is it a new one? I don't really handle the babies,
Oh,
in a sense. That's more woman Jekka.
so what
She handles
exactly
the new birth.
are you the god of?
My name
Twins.
is my name is Garak. I am the god of cooking and the god of chefs, which
what
is
was his
D
name?
and D. Garak, Garrakg, which is a D&D god. It's a normal one. It's not a homebrew.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Well, that's
Yes.
okay. That clears up a little bit, I guess. Actually, it doesn't clear up anything, but I am looking forward to trying this lobster. I may have questions later. And then she'll just kind of take the plate and she just kind of
Feel
wants to get a.
free. There are a couple of tables that are in the area. It's still empty. It's still nice and quiet. The only sound really is just him kind of standing there, just like hopping on his feet. He can't quite sit still. I just realized I gave this god ADHD. Um,
Yeah.
he,
That makes
he
sense
starts
for
like
somebody who cooks.
he starts like picking a little bit. And then after a few seconds, you hear a little ding as you see the money kind of pull back up. And he takes the money and puts it in his little pouch.
Was he
Oh,
cooking
don't
the
worry about
money?
that. That's just verifying the money to make sure it's real. You'd be surprised how many people come through and try to pay with fake money. Ah, they don't last long. I kick them out.
Okay.
And I take
Well,
the money.
but it's fake. What do you do with it?
I give it to the blacksmith. You should see the hoard they have. They can like create weapons and stuff out of the fake money.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of pull Val over to one of the tables and just sit down, kind of eyeing the dude out of the side of my, peripherals. I'll turn back to Val. Do you think that it's weird that we keep running into these godlike beings? I mean, why is there
Uh,
one working in quite, to be quite honest, not the best tavern? I mean, you'd think that if you were the god of cooking, you'd be running some kind of really elaborate, I don't know, people would actually want to come eat your food. But as far as I can tell, we're the only people that have been here for like ever.
uh, Perhaps he is the god of bad food. uh, no, I do think it has happened more often to more more than what would be circumstance or random. I do think it feels suspicious for sure that we're seeing so many gods.
So this might be a silly question, but again, keep in mind that, you know, this world as it is still relatively new to me. I- Is this a common occurrence that you would just casually run into gods? Just living amongst people? That's not something I'm used to where I came from.
I don't think I've ever met a god before now, this
And
past couple weeks.
now we've met 3 in as many days and created 1.
Mhm.
What is happening?
Mm,
I'll take a bite of the
I'm good.
lobster. Is he the chef of good cooking or bad cooking?
Roll me a d20.
Can't imagine it's good cooking, considering how
Constitution saving throw.
straight 12.
Well, considering you've not had lobster before, this is immaculate.
Well,
Still
it
tastes like the
tastes.
ocean.
Isn't it supposed to?
That's just what lobster tastes like.
Well, it's not bad. So maybe it's a marketing thing. Maybe he just needs to
After a
get the
few
word out.
seconds, you get an image in your head seeing yourself on a cliff face. As you're kind of sitting down on this nice little grassy area looking out on the ocean, you feel the presence of a young Hermona kind of sitting right next to you as she kind of leans over and places her head on your shoulder and just kind of, it's only a vision. Don't worry.
No, I
The
don't.
food is fine.
Can you
It
just sit
takes you
with me
back to
for
the
a minute?
happy moments.
Just don't leave. Just
Only temporary.
just another minute, okay?
I'm here as long as you're eating.
I can eat very slow, you know. I
In
miss you.
counter to that, you do see that the image starts to fade the longer you wait to eat. After about 15 seconds, it will go back to the top.
I'll take another bite.
You very slowly.
I miss you.
I know. It's hard to expect so much from someone still so new to a world. You're still as beautiful as I remember you.
Well, I did get my beauty rest.
I'm sure 300 years is enough.
300. Oh,
It's been a long time, Rose. I am alive. I am here.
where are you? Just tell me.
You were correct when you thought that I was on the other side. At
Take
this point, that's all your
another
memory
bite.
will allow you.
I'm gonna find you. I'm coming.
I trust you. I know you'll find me. I just won't look like this. So, it's been a long time.
I think I'll know. And I'll kind of look at her. I would recognize these eyes anywhere. I love you.
Keep eating. I'll see you soon. Val,
Yeah.
eat your chicken tendies.
My tendies.
I was
the
gonna
kids
say real quick,
menu.
they are such good friends. They
I
are such
know,
good
they were
friends.
roommates. It's amazing.
That's crazy how good of friends they are.
Oh my god,
Oh,
right? They
I
even
do have a
had
real
mood rings.
question really quick before you go on though. What was the name of the other side again?
Ashtol.
Ashtal.
ASHTOL.
I also
Alright.
got a 12. Do I also talk to Corona?
With a 12, yours is different. So the food that Garok, yeah, the food that Garok makes you does put you back into one of the happier moments for yourself as well. For you, you're sitting down in this kind of workshop in the middle of the forest, surrounded by a few other little tinkerers and magicians that are kind of a part of your home, your group. As you're kind of sitting there, you're, still the same age, still the same personality, etc. now than what you were when you were younger, because you remember this being from when you were a kid. I need you, though, specifically because of your character, to make me a perception check, please.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, not great. 9.
A 9. Unfortunately, this isn't logical, and your mind snaps you back into the tavern.
Excellent.
With just a little. That was weird.
Meanwhile,
You
Rose is just
continue
sitting
to
there
eat
with her
your
eyes
attendees.
closed, chewing very slowly, just like.
Rose is having a moment with the lobster. It's really awkward. But with a 9 for the perception, even though you didn't quite perceive it as a logical conclusion, you do see that Garok, the person behind the bar, is just kind of watching you, and gives you like a little nod, and just says, "It's okay. It doesn't happen to everybody. But you are the first to willingly come out of it, which is rather interesting. I suppose your brain works a little differently than everybody else's."
Yes. Some say I'm divergent.
Like, so, Arendelle, for the next couple of hours, you're just reading, gaining knowledge, talking to the priest, to good old Greg Jeffrey. Is there anything in particular that you would like to know or ask, or are you just gaining as much information as you can?
Just trying to gain as much information as I can.
Okay.
Arendelle has never actually read about other gods before, and so this is the first time. They're aware that other gods exist, but have never actually read about any before. So this is just the first opportunity they've ever had to do this.
Alrighty. Feel free to roll me a history check. Feel free to roll me history. Rather than religion, which is interesting. An 8. You are still very new to the idea of hearing and listening to and about other gods. Your faith in Womanjeka is like very devout, which is actually something that you and Chronobal do have a good conversation about, is the faith and how deep someone's faith needs to be to still appreciate or at least accept there are other gods, but still choose the one that you have. The two of you have a really good conversation as well, talking about the idealism behind having faith, which is something that you both agree everybody deserves to have, because everyone deserves to have something to believe in or something to push them forward. And even though there are people. What? What's this all about?
It makes more sense if you have the stream open.
Oh.
I have put the
But
bread and
yeah.
butterfly
Okay,
thing
I got it now.
in the oven.
Gotcha. I had to think. I was like, what? Okay, bread and butterfly. Way to ruin the moment. No.
You weren't
But no,
supposed to
you do.
acknowledge me.
I see someone doing this. I'm like, I've noticed something. ADHD go burr. No, but you do have a good conversation about like faith. Everyone deserves to have some. And you two do have a chat about people that don't have a faith or are against religion, and how it doesn't quite make sense how someone can just be against the idea of having someone to believe in. So it's kind of something that works in the mind of Arendelle and Greg Jeffrey.
So Arendelle is kind of talking to Greg Jeffrey kind of about like when the gods literally interfere in the world and you can like see the work itself and it's just right there and there's evidence, then how can't you devote your life to one of them? How can't you do that? It doesn't make any sense at all to them. They're also really enjoying the kind of parallels between Chronoball and Woman Jacob. I still cannot say it correctly. I'm trying. Woman Jacob, as in like helping travelers and helping those that are lost and saving those that are people that are lost and things like that.
Mhm. So after a couple of hours, Chronoball does let you know that your friends did leave to go to the tavern. I don't believe they've gone to see Anna yet. I haven't seen them out the window. Maybe you should go and check. The books aren't going anywhere for at least another 30 years before the spell fades. So you're always welcome to come back and have a read anytime.
Well, before I leave, I'm going to do a quick little tidying for you. Just help you out. I think you're going to enjoy this. It's just going to help you out real quick. And she just kind of goes. Arendelle just kind of goes through really quick and just like casts mending on each book, so it looks like brand new, and like puts them all in alphabetical order by author, and like creates a little like organization, like a catalog of what's there. And she just kind of goes over with Chronoball really quickly, like up here on top we've got histories, then through here we've got religious books, and then down here at the bottom we've got hymnals. And then down here on the last shelf, you've got your family histories and things like that of your members in your church. So if you need any help with this, just contact me. Here's here's information. Here's how you can get a hold of me at the Church of Woman Jacob. Come and see me anytime. Also, my cousin Dewey, he's running the library while I'm out. You can go see him about anything. I had a great time here. I'll see you later. Thank you so much.
This is very interesting. You know, Dewey's not the only one that has created a system like this. I do believe he had a little bit of help from his gods, Huey and Louie, to create the Dewey Decimal System.
And their Uncle Scrooge.
Yeah, he funded it. They were trust fund babies.
Look at that.
I come up with that
All
joke
right, so
straight
after
away. I
that,
didn't even plan that joke.
so after that, Arendelle does walk out front, and kind of makes the assumption that they went to the inn. So they've got all these like scrolls and stuff like that. They've written up a bunch of notes and stuff. So got them here under their arms, like walking over towards the inn, just like got the biggest smile on their face. They're like,
Roll me a perception check, please. Either as you step in or just before you step in and outside. Obviously, will depend on the role, but wherever you want to do. 13. It's a regular town. There's not a whole lot happening. As you kind of enter, you can see that Rose and Val are still kind of sitting down, eating and enjoying themselves. Even after a couple of hours, Rose, you have lost 1 gold and 2 silver because you're always on the mind and wanting to see and stay with Hamona.
I just keep buying
You just
lobster.
keep buying food.
Oh, he's a grifter. That's what he's doing. It's also spelled. It's like crack. I see what's happening. The first one's cheap, then he just keeps ramp. So you said 1 gold, 2 silver.
1 gold, 2 silver.
Okay.
And Val, you are just kind of enjoying a second plate of tendies, so it's another 5 copper for you. Because
Great,
you were just
awesome.
kind of bored a little bit, tinkering in that, and you just
Yeah.
bought another plate of food.
So
You
it's probably
do
been
get
an
the vision
hour.
again.
I actually was thinking about this.
It's been a
I
couple of
think I'm
hours.
gonna
What would you like
use
to do?
I think I'm gonna use my right tools for the job.
Mhm.
And I think like while we're sitting, I'm gonna be like creating I was thinking about this the whole time and now I completely Smith's tools probably is probably what I would end up because we're about to go see a blacksmith.
Mhm.
And I've been thinking about like what if I could make something that we could use to get across or to travel faster without having to spend a bunch of gold. So I think that is what's on her mind, and so
Yep.
that's a puzzle she's working on. So I'm gonna craft um some smith's tools, and then if we can, like, as we find some like scrap materials, she might start being able to like work on something to get across.
Okay, cool.
How does the right tool for the job work? Can you make more than one set of tools, or does it
No,
disappear when you make a new set?
I can only do one at a time.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
Mm.
All right.
yeah. I
Can
have
this
my set of tools, which are Tinker's tools, and then I can make a second set of tools, but I can only make one second set of tools.
Okay.
does the time we spend eating count as enough for a short rest?
Oh yeah, easily.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I had a
Awesome.
little bit of hurt. So.
Alrighty. Lots of fun and games. So, after a couple of hours, and you see Arendelle step into the tavern. Val,
Arendelle,
you're the only one that kind of really noticed because Rose is kind of just eating the last bite of her food this time. Um,
this is
as
so
Arendelle
good.
steps in.
I'll have what she's having.
You should.
No, I really would.
This is the best thing I've ever tasted. It's
I'm
really
sick too.
good.
Exactly the same thing I've always eaten. Thank you.
This is my safe food. I'm happy with my safe food. Alright. So, Arendelle, as you kind of step in, you notice that the place is rather empty. You do see that Rose and Val are sitting at the table. Yeah. Are you walking straight up to them? Are you what are you doing?
So I just kind of go up and sit down next to Rose. And I look over at what she's eating, and I'm like, I heard those taste like the ocean. Is that true?
Well, I've never actually eaten like the ocean or drank salt water, but
Either have I.
it does have a very yes. I mean, when I eat it, it reminds me of the ocean.
Umami.
It's very good.
Gross.
No. It's quite
Rose.
tasty. Quite tasty. I'm actually very surprised he's only charging 5 silver for it. I've heard these are a delicacy in many places, but it's worth a
Um,
try if you've never had it.
Arendelle looks at Garrick and is like, do you got gravy and biscuits?
We can make whatever you like.
I'll have Southern style gravy and biscuits.
Alright.
Here's what I love. Okay. I love because we have so many overlap between our games that there's now this like Wolfkin's tabletop meta joke verse
Universe, yeah.
that he
It's
was like
the Wolfkin's multiverse.
like he's permeating
Beyonce.
Beyonce, biscuits and gravy. There's one other one that
The
keeps
funniest part
popping up.
about it as well is that even though it is like the Wolfman's multiverse, because my other campaign is set in this world as well, like
Bleeding
that's
over.
also a part of the multiverse.
I love it.
Love
Love
it.
it. You have to watch every episode of every show to really get the jokes.
Alright, so as he kind of steps from behind the bar, and he kind of moves over towards you, he places a little flat piece of pavement that will be 4 silver.
All right.
That's so
Oh, and Arendelle, don't worry. Apparently the magic here is okay because he's another god, so they can do whatever they want.
Yes. I just wanted to cook. And they were like, no, you have responsibilities. I was like,
You
I
should
don't
have made it
care.
sound like Bobby Flay.
I don't know who that
Arendelle is just like immediately doesn't even care about through the money, doesn't even pay attention to like the cool trick where the thing folds up and pulls it away. And she's like, wait, you're a god?
Yes. A god of
Oh,
food, essentially.
what's your portfolio? And she like just like starts pulling out like papers and like a quill, and it's like dips it in ink and like ink splattering everywhere. And she's like, what's your
Arendelle,
portfolio?
I don't mean to be rude, but it's already been about 4 hours. Can we table this? We have some things we have to get done before nightfall.
You have a pamphlet or something.
We're gonna tabletop this.
He has like one of those
He
little pamphlets about, that they hand out like little Jesus ones you
Garak
get. Like your super conservative barber keeps in his office.
Garak kind of gives you a little nod and a smile, Arendelle. And as they kind of like, as the money goes down and it like gets checked, you see that Garak puts his hand down, smacks the table, lifts it up, and there is just a plate of what looks like an incredibly well-made southern biscuits and gravy. And I will need you to make me a. What did I get you guys to do before?
20. Just roll 20.
Was it a perception check, I believe?
Nope.
No, you
Just
just
a
straight
20.
20.
Okay, straight 20. Thank you. I forgot. Since I've been spoiled now with Dragonbane, I nearly
Ooh.
made you do a Myths and Legends roll earlier.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
I almost said that the other day too.
straight D20 roll for me, please.
Well, I
Arendelle?
did great. I did
1.
great.
Spoiler
Did it
alert.
roll? Oh,
He did
it didn't
not.
show up for me.
Constitution saving throw. The milk was
So,
spoiled.
with a 1, with a natural 1, the food is amazing, but you don't get the vision. You're just eating food in the tavern.
Rose is just sitting there looking at you like this. She's just like
Yeah.
waiting to see what you do. Well, what did you see? What?
The food's really good.
If you chew it slower, it lasts longer.
Yeah.
Are you not seeing
If
anything?
you walk slower, you get
No. Are
your
you not
travel takes longer.
sure? Are you not? You're not seeing anything.
You have no fucking idea what this
No.
bitch is talking about.
Hmm. Val, you saw something, right?
Briefly, I don't think I stayed in the daydream as long as you perhaps did, but yes.
Oh. Well,
I
never mind.
in
Continue.
fact, I
Eat
am
your.
surprised that you knew it was 4 hours. It's been 4 hours. We have
Oh,
we were
has it? I just made up a number. Has it really been 4 hours? I was actually just trying to exaggerate. Has it? It's been 4
Arendelle's also like, it's
hours.
been 4 hours?
Yeah.
Val is the only one I just realized that has any perception of how long she's had to wait on these two. And it's
Val,
even worse
you
because
have
she looked
hit.
at Rose just slowly chewing lobster for
Yeah.
3 hours.
I think that's the name of the episode. It's been 4 hours?
It's been 4 hours. Val, anybody even remotely on the autism ADHD spectrum, you've been on standby for 4 hours, just waiting. Like, you can't do anything else. You'd made the tools, and then you've just kind of been sitting there because you've been waiting. You're like, this can't take too much
Literally
longer.
just stimming. I am like picking my fingers. I'm rocking back and forth. I'm like singing music in my head. Like it's cool. I'm
You've created your own D&D campaign in the 4 hours. That yeah, so
Val,
now with it
I'm
being...
so sorry. I didn't realize that I lost track of time. Um, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you wait that long.
really been that long. You look over, there's like a pile of napkin paper cranes.
Rose, make me a perception check.
Sure. I like those. Not today. Not that one though.
And
That
that
one
one,
I don't like.
you are really impressed with how many paper cranes there are. Val, roll me a D100.
Oh, great. Yay.
That's never good. Never as a DM have I called for a
37.
D100 when something
37,
good
and
was
now
about
roll
to
a D4.
happen.
Where is it?
4.
Here.
Yeah, I'm interested in what this is.
There are 148 paper cranes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arendelle,
Yeah,
you don't
that's a-
need to roll me perception because you are still on this mortal plane, unlike Rose right now. You're more impressed that there are 148 paper cranes when there are no napkins on any benches or tables.
Not
So you don't
anymore,
know
there's not.
where she has managed to get these. But as Val, as you like finish up another one, you like kind of start to stim a little bit, and then Garak walks over and very lightly taps the table, and another napkin appears. He's been supplying you the whole time.
I love that.
It's a dog. Can I pet that dog? I want to pet that dog.
The dog.
Can I pet that dog?
Hi, Bobby. What's the dog's name again?
Finn.
Finn. Hi,
Finn.
He's
Finn.
Can
nanners.
I pet
Oh,
that
yep. I can
fan?
only. Oh, you can only hold him for about 2 seconds, and then he's gone.
I want to pet that fan. That sounds like me in real life. Alrighty, so it's been 4 hours. It is now currently 5 p.m. The sun is slowly starting to descend.
Based on the sun, if we're going to catch the blacksmith, we probably need to go now. That they might be finishing up for the day.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, let's go. I kind of like. I do realize I held you guys up for a long time, so sorry about that. Let's go. Let's
Apparently,
go. Let's go.
apparently, I did too. Don't worry about it.
Val is
Some people like
so
lobster.
ready
I
to
don't know. I
move.
don't get it.
Hey, maybe
Val
that
is
was it.
ready to go.
Maybe it was
Yeah.
just like what you ordered. Next time we come here, you should try the lobster. I think it will be. I think it'll change your perspective on things. I really do. It's that good.
Val's like started another paper crate.
No, okay, yeah, I get it. Let's go. Let's go.
After a little while, you have had so much practice making 149 paper cranes now. You literally managed to like just do it in about 15 seconds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can make them
Now,
fast once you learn how to make them.
if it
You
were
are now
me,
proficient in making paper cranes.
if it were me,
Yeah.
and I don't want to speak for Val, but if it were me personally, not Rose, but Wolfkins, there's no
No.
way in hell I'm stopping at 149. You gotta hit
Yeah,
the
yeah,
round
no.
number.
Yeah. Yeah, I for sure, just even if I'm just like grabbing one on the go, like we're I'm like making one more on the way out. Like
Alright. Garak gives you one last napkin. But I want you to make me an Arcana check, please, because all three of you can see it's kind of glowing, but you two are kind of just ready to go after waiting for 4 hours. So if you do want to make the roll for Arcana, you can, but it will be at disadvantage.
15.
So it's up to the two of you if you want to do that or not.
I'll take a disadvantage roll.
Disadvantage. Yeah, sure.
Disadvantage.
Even at disadvantage, I'm gonna one up you. Dirty
Wow.
20. Ah.
So the three of you do notice that it is not technically a napkin; it is more a magical piece of paper. Val, you've been making these on autopilot. You barely notice that it is not a napkin. You're still able to kind of maneuver it like a normal crane, but I need you to make me one last investigation check, please.
Oh, come on.
What's
Hold
up with
on.
all these intelligence checks?
But nat 20 on that one.
Brilliant.
I won't
Also
roll just because I
investigation,
don't
not
want to show
intelligence.
you up. I don't want to steal your thunder here.
um. So as you kind of create the last piece and you kind of hold it in your hand, you're like 150. I'm happy with that. That's a nice round number. You see that the crane itself starts to glow. And you see that it starts to take on almost a form of its own before it starts to kind of roll and fold itself, and it turns itself into a nice little ceramic ring as it kind of lands in your hand. And Garak just kind of leans over and says, "Huh. One has been blessed by the gods, I see. Very interesting. If you've got yours, the other two will probably have something soon.
I like how
Fun.
flamboyant Garrick is.
Is it a plain white ceramic ring, or does it have a little flavor?
Describe it.
So I imagine, because it came to her specifically, it isn't specifically white. I think it probably turned a little gray, and it has a groove in the center of it, that has like little bumps in it. So it's really um really pleasing to touch. Like you can rub your finger along it. It feels real good. Um yeah, I think that's what it feels.
It's a spinning rim. It has the ball bearings on the inside, and you can like flick through it as well. Like you can spin it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
Uh,
for sure. I was gonna make it a spinning rim, but I was like, maybe not a specific one, but it definitely feels she could probably like fidget with it and it
I
feels
mean,
real good
with
and
all due
makes her less
respect,
nervous.
you just made 150 paper cranes. I don't think one ring is gonna overdo it.
Yeah, right. You know.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
You don't want to underestimate what the power of one ring can do. Just saying.
Yeah. That's funny. I'm gonna give you inspiration for that, Wolf. That was well done. Okay, so as you are now holding on to this blessed ring, everybody else is able to now get up and start heading to the blacksmith.
Oh, it fits her pointer finger, by the way. She puts it on like her right
Mhm.
pointer finger. She can just
As you put it on, you feel this sense of knowledge in your mind. Your mind starts to race quite quickly, and it starts to be filled with texts and archives and longs for places of libraries and knowledge. As I would like you to go into your equipment, and I would like you to give yourself Caglio's Blessed Ring, which is our first homebrew item.
Oh.
And what this does is it empowers you, as you now have a little bit of extra power from the gods. Caglio's Blessed Ring allows Lightning Launcher to become a bonus action, allowing you steady action economy. So instead of it being a normal action, you get it as a bonus action so you can do other stuff. It gives you a +1 to your proficiency, AC, and initiative.
Wow.
And it also allows you an additional permanent infusion slot that you can swap infusions once per day.
Ooh, that's exciting.
The final additional thing for Caglio's Blessed Ring is it allows you unprecedented access to any library or archive, regardless of a legion or moral alignment, and your party is completely immune to all damage while inside a library or archive.
Moral
And that
alignment.
extends to the party.
You can go evil and it won't cause any problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She turns around and just slashes this god's throat.
We're not in a library right now. Hold on.
Yeah, let's go kill the librarian.
Might you.
Actually,
So
this is a library.
that is Caglio's Blessed Ring.
Arendelle is like shaking. She's so excited about like what you just received. She's like, that came from the gods. That came from a god.
I
Do,
suppose.
do you know about this god?
You are given the image of a old wizard's tome. As the tome kind of opens, you see a projected light image of a young woman with quite a lot of eldritch energy. As you see if I go back to that one, you see I believe they're a genasi.
Ooh, that's cool.
Where is? Why is it not there? Oh, I know where it is. It's on my other. It's on the other campaign in Roll20. I'm not swapping over that now. Yeah, so you see a genasi genie that kind of appears outside of this book and creates a light image, and that is the Caglio, the god of the archives.
Cool.
Well, the god of archives and knowledge. You don't know
Arendelle
any
is
of the
so
information, right?
jealous. She is. Arendelle's like so jealous, dying with jealousy right now.
I'm
So-
This is very cool.
All right. So we're making our way to the blacksmith.
Yep.
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 Alrighty. As the three of you are now making your way down to the blacksmith, Rose, you are correct. It does look like Anabatalos is starting to basically pack up for the day. As the three of you start to approach, you all are just kind of taken a little bit aback as she turns to you and says, "God damn, you guys took your time! Are you right? Are you going to be going anywhere else? Be waiting for you for a couple of hours. Charles said you'd be here a bit earlier than that. What the hell happened?"
Charles didn't really give us much information, and then they have really good lobster over there.
Oh.
And I got distracted by some books,
So
and
books
she
and
made
lobster.
cranes. They were awesome.
You made paper cranes. Well, at least you did something practical. You two, though,
Well,
learned
okay.
about gods and learned about food and visions and shit.
Here's the thing, though. It's the lobster itself was great, but he kept bringing me these little cheddar biscuits on the side, and
I
that was
know
really
what
what
he
kept me
does.
there.
I know what he does. He's not slick. Why do you think it's so empty all the time? As soon as people find out what it is, they vanish.
Well, what do you mean?
Side
Well, they don't
What it
question,
is?
vanish,
did
they
they-
leave. They don't go back. Why go back to a place that only brings back happy memories?
Well, there's nothing wrong with a little nostalgia.
Right, anyway, well, since you guys have taken so long, I'm going to have to be a little bit quick, but if you will step into my office, we can have a discussion, finally, I suppose. And she leads you into the kind of blacksmith's main area, which as you kind of step down from the gravel, from the cobblestone into the sand pit, you can see that there are 5 anvils that are kind of just placed on stumps that are in the sand. I'm not going to make a check. It's easy to know that this is more so if something is hot and burning and it falls, it's on the sand. It's not going to, set the place on fire, etc. But you can see that there are racks of weaponry. There are a whole bunch of armor. Hey!
Look, it's real.
Only 149 to go.
Yeah, so you can see that there are racks of weaponry. There's a whole bunch of armor stands that have pieces on them. Some of them look incredible. Some are glowing a little bit. But as she kind of asks you to follow her into the... I need
Unknown.
to figure out now. How do you... Great, Roll20 change something. You know what? This might be what makes me swap.
There we go.
Burn it.
Let's do it.
Real quick bubble sign tangent about lobster before we move on from the lobster. The very first lobster I ever ate was pregnant and had a whole bunch of eggs in it, and it was very gross. And I didn't eat lobster after that for another 10 years.
Are you supposed to?
Wow.
They are.
No.
It is actually against the rules to
Yeah.
get those. I think it was like an accident. Because I was
It's
like a
okay.
kid.
very not supposed to have the eggs.
They
Yeah.
were like,
That's
"Oh, look, it's a
terrifying.
delicacy," and I was like, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen."
Here's what I recommend. The lobster tail, yes. A whole lobster is traumatizing to eat. Have you ever tried like the whole lobster? It's
They're bugs,
traumatizing.
Lobster tastes like what they eat. It tastes like the bottom of the ocean. It tastes
Lob-
like shit and rotting dead things.
No,
at
it
the bottom of the
doesn't.
ocean.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it
Lobster's
does.
very good.
I have
The
to use
be-
a lot of
Sure.
butter. I don't mind it.
Man,
I think I prefer lobster to shrimp.
I do too. I
So,
do too. My favorite
Now,
seafood is
crab.
scallops, though. Scallops are some sea
Sorry,
scallops.
we're fully away from your game right now. I'm sorry.
You can't
Funny
give
thing that I
me
will
5
mention-
silver lobster and not expect me to go off on a tangent. I'm just saying.
one gold
What's your
and
favorite?
7 silver, thank you.
But that's how many
What is
lobster
your
tails?
What's your favorite shellfish, Socket?
I like crab.
Crab's
Crab's where it's at. Crab's so friggin'
Ooh.
I
good.
had
Crab's
a
too much
crab and,
work, though.
I
Crab
think it
legs
was
are
That's
so
part of the
much work.
fun, though.
crab and
Ah.
feta ravioli at a Irish restaurant once, which was
Ooh,
really
that
nice.
sounds
and
good.
quaint.
Good.
That sounds
But no,
good.
funny thing, you say scallops. In Australia, we say scallops.
Scallops. Well, that's just wrong.
So is your country, but we are still here. All right, so
Aluminium scallops.
Scallops.
aluminium scallops, love
You
it.
say that here, you'll get shot. Just so you know.
I say anything, and I'm probably gonna get anyway. Off topic. We are. You are being basically asked to follow Anamalie into her office, which I have swapped us over to. You can see that on the outside of the blacksmith is just kind of the sand, but as you go further back in, there is a door that kind of opens up into like a wide, nice-looking office space. As Anamalie just power walks to her desk and takes a seat behind it, and just waits. Is this a situation where I need to tell you that you're allowed to come in? You're allowed to come into the office. You're allowed to take a seat. I've dealt with a couple of vampires. They're very draining.
That's funny.
Boo. You don't get inspiration.
I can do whatever I want. I'm the DM.
Fine, I'll go in.
Yeah, I'm for sure going in.
I'll stand awkwardly at the door, but I'll step in just a bit.
Your friend is eccentric. Let's go with that word. Anyway,
You'd be surprised.
Charles.
Slightly less so than our previous.
Oh God. Oh right, yeah. Charles kind of told me that you lost someone. I do apologize for that. But he did mention that we were going to have some visitors. That it was probably they were probably going to be heading over sometime after the teleportation circle. And here I am, been working for the past 4 hours. So that was interesting. Right. I have a little bit of knowledge from Charles. What are you all looking for here, specifically? He said he dropped you off, and then said just help out if they need help.
That's kind of the problem. He dropped us off here. I mean, he wasn't.
We're looking for you.
He is hopeless. You can see that she, make me a perception check on Anna.
Everybody?
Yep.
I'm
I'm
always
rolling terrible
clicking the
tonight.
wrong button. That was really bad. It was a 7.
All right, 11 and
23.
7. So, Arendelle and Val, you are both able to just see that she is a tall, dark-skinned lady with gorgeous hair that is roughly around 47, 48 years old. Rose, you can see that those are years of which she has aged, and it shows with like some of the wrinkles, some of her skin being a little bit more tan and a little bit more burnt as well from places where she has slipped up. You can see that a lot of those aren't because of age, but because she's had to deal with Charles for a little bit and deal with the gods. So it has aged her a little bit more. Right. Well, that's fucked. Okay, well, do you have questions? Do you have something? What have you got?
Question 1, are you are you a god too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just have direct line of communication with Charles, which he should be here sometime sooner.
If you you have a connection with Charles, does that mean that you perhaps understand the machinations of magic in this world?
To an extent, that one is more so due to the fact that I'm almost 50, so I've been around for a while. Still not quite young enough to remember, or still not old enough to remember exactly what happened after the war, but I was young enough to grow up in the world directly after it. So, essentially put, healing bad. Healing is bad because they used healing magic whilst the Blood Queen was around. They extended her life. That's why she was able to reign for about 400 years or so, somewhere around that. And then, obviously,
Yeah.
afterwards, they were like, well, that's not okay. So we decided to
Yeah.
ban that one.
Well, we've
Um,
we've heard that story, but doesn't it strike you as a little weird, the just stark black and whiteness of that? I mean, you're never
not
going to
quite.
heal anybody because of that
Oh, people
situation?
still do it.
Then what's the
Of
point
course,
of
people
making
still do it. Just because it's illegal doesn't mean they're still going to do it. They're just going to be hiding it.
well, what's the point? What's the point? Why should people have to hide helping others?
Because people want power. They want to assert dominance over another.
It's
I mean,
so
you know what the
stupid.
kings and queens are like. None of them are really good people. They're just
Well,
high and mighty in their little castle and decide to exert
s-
power over those that are beneath
some of
them.
them, some of them are good people. Some of them are
Oh,
trying
an
their best.
apologist. Brilliant. Alright. I'm sure there are some out there that are nice. Over
I
here,
don't,
they are not.
I don't know about anymore, but there were.
Hmm. Anyway, um, so far, the healing ban it's illegal, basically, to be put, but that just means that people do it on the sly. There are always healers around, there are always doctors that use magic. The druids are a good example of that. Um, but I mean, technically speaking, sure. If you do a spell in a city or a major city that hasn't been sanctioned or given permission from the king, they will talk to you and probably throw you in prison. They won't kill you outright. If you hurt someone, they will kill you outright. But
We
if you do
we're
healing, that is an instant death.
we're familiar with their reactions
Uh,
to that.
yeah, they can be quite heavy-handed by that. But it is their lando, so they can do what they like.
That was
Boo.
good.
I was proud of that one.
Um,
I kind of like that one.
so um, we use healing spells in the church all the time,
Yes, the churches are
including in.
sanctioned and given permission by the royalties.
I see.
They more use it as a propaganda to make people believe in certain gods, but I mean, hey, healing is healing, right?
Really don't like
Yeah,
this
yeah, write that
place.
down. You write that down, you
Arendelle
fucking
looks kind
war
of
master.
Arendelle looks kind of disturbed by what she just heard here.
Hannah is no bullshit.
I don't know about
Uh,
the rest of us, but I'm looking for a way across the chasm. I want to
yes,
get
Into
to the other
Ashdale.
continent.
that
Yes.
would be my next question.
Okay. Right. Well, there are a couple of different ways you can do it. If you somehow have a teleportation circle and a registered town over there, yes, you could probably teleport over. It would probably cost a lot of money. You can only do two at once. Or well, two other people at once aside from yourself. And you will be asked to pay money each time you go across, which is going to rack up in the money, which is that times that equals that. And then that. Da, da, da. You can see that she's like going through everything in her head. Um, It'll cost you about 450 gold for the four of you. If one of you had someone over, you take two, that person comes back, and then you take the other person. About 450 gold. So you're probably not going to be doing that anytime soon. There are some merchants that do travel between. You could probably get yourself into one of the caravans and go over with them. It is rather dangerous, obviously, especially when traveling across the divide, unless you want to go and use the water and take a boat around. That's probably the safest option, but it's still not great. I mean, you could sleep with a god.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Gods are assholes. I hate them.
What was that last thing you said though? Before
You could sleep with a god.
And
you
that's
can
going to help
sleep with
us.
a god.
How?
Well, the god will do whatever they want. Think of it kind of like a favor.
I don't know.
You won't
Garrett looked all right.
You won't survive the ideal.
He cooked a mean lobster.
He did, but I can't do that.
I do have a quick question. Where are Geth and Baylor? Are they on this side of the divide?
Geth is on this side. Geth is about a week south from here. Baylor is on the other side. Baylor is trying to remember. I believe that Baylor was about 4 days east of the Ashtal Kingdom. But Baylor is an island off the coast. If you ever ended up there, you would need a boat to get to or from. There isn't really a direct way from the mainland unless you obviously already have circles.
So,
That'll be more gold.
Rose can go to Baylor for free and can take 2 people.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we did that, we'd need
That's
to
still over
get a
200
boat.
gold.
Oh, I thought they were able to take 2 people free. I guess I misunderstood.
75 gold each.
Who was at the toll? It was the young guy, wasn't it? Okay. He's still young. He's still learning. That's an employee benefit. He can take it for free.
Are you hiring?
And yes, people have died because of that. No, because people have died from doing that.
From using employee discounts?
From using it willy-nilly. Essentially, Ports, if you're abusing your own benefits, you'll either be fired, or if you don't do that, they will kill you. There's a lot of death over here in Ulfram. I would rather be on the other side.
That's one of the reasons we're trying to leave.
Sounds like this place sucks.
What a coincidence. Oh, it's horrible over here. It's terrible. I don't understand why people would want to stay.
How can we make some money to get out of here?
So
what do you think the best way to do so?
There are a couple of bounties, obviously. Every town has bounties. I mean, you could work a job, but considering the way you're talking about things, you want things done pretty quickly. Bounties are the main thing. You could, again, try to convince a caravan to take you over, but then again, essentially that is just trafficking. What else is there? If you want to do it legally and logistically, you're going to be killing some monsters. And they're not going to be easy. They're usually big ones.
Or perhaps building a boat?
If you're going to build a boat to go around, then you'd have to travel to the coast, go around.
Also,
unless you're
like
going to be creating something quickly.
Also, how far across is the divide? Isn't it like huge?
So the divide, when you guys were standing in Saprin, you could see the very first kind of line of the Great Forest that's on the other side, but that was still like 1.5. Hang on, I nearly said 1.5 kilometers. Give me a minute. Let me put this into miles.
I mean, you can say kilometers. It's fine.
You can. 1.5 kilometers. Let's say that's about a mile.
That is about a mile. 0.9 miles.
There you go.
So it's about a mile.
Hey, I made that up, but awesome. I was almost right.
Hey,
done well.
Look at you using your math degree.
Hey.
So it is. It's a mile across. Excuse me.
Do you guys use imperial measurements at all in Australia?
I don't think anybody uses imperial.
Like miles, cups, ounces, things like that.
Not really. The only thing that we really do is feet when referring to height, but that's about it.
Yeah, I know in England they always Like in
Ounces
the
and
UK,
shit, we
they
have
mix it
kilos.
up. Okay.
We don't even do ounces.
Cool.
If you want a pint, it's not a pint, it's a schooner.
Great.
They ask for a schooner of beer. If you want like a
But
big jug, it's just a jug.
But is a schooner? It is a pint though. Like the actual measurement is a pint.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Cool.
I'm learning so much tonight. Not in game, but I'm learning a lot of stuff.
I love it. Imperial is really good for thinking about stuff because it's kind of almost base 12. You can like think of things in like 3 and 4
Yeah.
instead of it only being 5 and 10. And then
Metric's good for everything else.
metric's really good for doing math on because you're just moving a decimal.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, you're such a nerd.
Nerd.
I
Sorry.
love it.
Sorry, I'm a math nerd. Keep going.
Right. You can hunt shit. Kill big stuff, get money, save money, go across. Most of the hunts are not going to be, well, over 200 gold, which is what you would need after doing some quick numbers in my head. But if you kill enough of them and you obviously take a break in between, I wouldn't expect you to kill multiple things in one go. It could take less than a week and you'd have the money to get over there. Not a problem. I wouldn't recommend doing it with the 3 of you, though. You'd probably need, like, another person. Probably a 4th.
Where would we find these bounties? Like, who would we talk to about getting these?
Most of the bounties are held on the notice board in the sheriff's office, which is across the road from from Garrock's Tavern. There are some people that will do like private jobs, but if I'm being completely honest, I wouldn't trust them. 9 times out of 10, they're usually in a cult and they'll just try to kill you anyway. Yeah, the bounties are usually the best idea.
uh, Val is gonna look up and be like, what are the chances that perhaps Coral is currently engaging in intimacy with a god?
Wow, that's an autism coded question and a half.
That would solve a lot of our problems, actually, if he came back safe and sound and having secured our passage.
Secured your passage by you. No, I can't finish that sentence on a stream.
I feel like there's just lots of screaming that involve both his hand has been removed, and I feel like banging a god is horrifying, no matter whether the god's evil or good. This is going to be a horrifying experience.
You know, and after
Next
all that,
session, we go into detail of god sex. No.
and then after all that, his favor, he'd probably just ask for his hand back. So,
all right.
I don't, Val. I don't think we should bank on that. I don't think that's what's happening. Although it would make for a really great story. We probably should. Let's call that Plan E.
What other towns are? What other towns are within travel distance of here? Like a day's travel distance.
Within a day's travel distance? Not many, to be honest. There are a couple of little settlements that have a couple of homes, mainly farmsteads. This is kind of like the next big one outside of Ura, in between Ura and the Merchant's Trail. It's not recommended to do that by yourself due to the fact of there are a lot of quite dangerous creatures, especially as you go around or over the divide. But in saying that, there are just little towns in between, so there's always a place to stay and take a moment.
Garrick said that the ocean was a 2 days walk. Are there any towns that way?
You can see that Anna opens up one of the drawers in her table, pulls out this map, and just kind of spreads it open over the desk. Okay, so there are two towns, as you can see here, as she points to Ura, which is obviously the one we're not going to at the moment. And you can see that there's another port town just down here, which is south a little bit. And you can see that there's a little settlement, maybe like this big on the map, that's kind of quite a fair way south of Ura. You guys can see that there isn't a town along the beach on the northern side of the Ura half of the world. Yes, it is 2 days walk, but there isn't a town. It's quite a missed opportunity. They have quite a few towns along the water in Ashdol, but, well, they're stuck in the past here.
Before you told us there was no town there, I had already kind of like drawn out like the area and put a dot for a town. And then when you said there was no town, I wrote no town next to the dot.
Yeah, it's a town called No Town.
After a couple of seconds of pointing out the towns, I would like all three of you to make me either a perception check, or you can make me a religion check. Whichever
Is
one
it
is better.
perception or religion?
Perception or religion, whichever one you
Okay,
prefer.
I nat 20'd with a +6 in my religion. So
All right, you can have this one.
Nice.
I only got 11.
I think religion should be wisdom. I don't think it makes sense for it to be intelligence.
Yeah, I would agree with that, to be honest.
Or at least it's one of those ones that should be like more situational.
Yeah, I think it depends on how you're defining religion. Is it knowing about religion, like understanding stories of
Right.
mythology? That would be
Yeah.
intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Or if it's religion as in I am in the faith and I am feeling out what this God may be thinking about, that
Right.
would be wisdom.
Like
Yeah, I think
understanding
that-
a deeper concept. I think sort of like what Arendelle was talking about earlier, where she was like relating the two gods together would be something more like wisdom, but like actually studying the books and stuff would be intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm not saying like you got to change anything. I was critiquing
I'm
the
not
game,
changing
the
anything.
game itself, not you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
I
be like
wasn't
that.
critiquing you, just your game.
No, I was
I
talking
know
about
what you meant.
D&D,
I know what you meant.
not Temptations. Jerk.
So, after all that, so Arendelle, you chose perception.
Mhm.
All right, so you got a 17. Val with a nat 20. Rose, you're kind of just focusing on the map and trying to find the best way to get around. Arendelle, you notice that there is now another figure that is standing next to Anna. You can see that Charles has finally decided to make his presence known. Val, you can see that Charles is there. Charles has a bag, and next to Charles is Corol.
Yay!
Rose hasn't noticed yet.
Oh, I haven't even noticed? Okay.
You haven't noticed yet.
Val is gonna like tug a little bit on Rose's sleeve and just like
Once she sees
Hey,
Coral, she
Coral,
will
what
just
happened
like
to your hand?
jump up and like run over and just like throw her arms around him.
Coral is going to hug you back. You can feel their presence. They are here in front of you.
Thank the bread.
I can almost hear him.
Thank the bread. Oh God!
I wasn't sure if
I
we'd
am
see you
so
again.
excited to see Coral's reaction to Bread and Butterfly.
Oh yeah, he missed when we created. I forgot he was out that episode.
So Coral is going to kind of tap you on the shoulder and like give you a deeper hug, and he's gonna do the same to Val. He's gonna like just give you a very light like shoulder hug thing. Thinking that might be a bit
the
safer.
side hug, the
Yeah.
very comfortable side hug.
Leave room for
And
Jesus.
with Arendelle, he just kind of gives you a little bit of a nod. You two aren't as close just yet. Yeah, basically it's the handshake.
A hearty handshake.
Charles looks up and notices, okay, give him a little bit of time. He will be able to talk again. He's just...
Well, he can't
we
talk.
had to put a mute spell on him when he was talking to the gods. They didn't quite like that I had to bring him back, and obviously,
what are
being
you
a paladin, he had a lot of questions.
what are you talking about? Bring him what
We
happened?
found him. He did not die. Okay, we found him. He did not die. We found him. His hand had been cut off. Obviously, he was screaming because that sounds like it would be a lot of pain. I'm
Sure.
sure he can tell you more later, but the long story short is we fixed him up. He was able to basically get a blessing from his god, Linrock. So he actually got to see his deity, essentially. And then obviously because he saw that, he had a lot of questions. We had to mute him. He's fine. He's untouched. You guys can see, Val, you can see, the others who can't, that his right hand is, like, he does have a glove over his right hand. And you can tell that this glove is glowing like a motherfucker. Like, this thing is magic as all shit. Um, what
Is Luke
you will
Skywalker.
notice, is that this glove is essentially a second religious symbol for him. And he has an item that he can talk about later. So he got his own little item.
Yay, that's 2 out of 4.
Yes. And Rose and Arendelle will be getting there soon. But essentially, the item is called Coral's Guiding Hand. Because it's his
Yeah.
hand that is guiding him from his god. And I was like, yes, this is clever. I like this. But yeah, Charles looks towards Arendelle and Rose. You wanted proof. You wanted something to show that I could be trusted, or to give you something for you to just give us a little bit of faith. While I still can't give you proper answers, I was able to do something. I was able to convince the gods to give you guys a chance, essentially.
Chance to
The
do
long
what?
story short of it is to fix everything. The long story short is, I believe it was about 300 years ago, Pomona was essentially starting to become a lot more of a problem. A group of adventurers had gone on their own adventure, had to fight her to lessen, weaken, do something. Essentially, the gods were not happy that one group of adventurers had done something that they could not. They took it as a personal offense, and they started instilling their magic in the world. A lot of influence, a lot of New World orders. There's a lot going on there. Basically, they didn't trust humans, mortals, creatures. Anything down here, they did not trust. As soon as one would even begin to rise into a power that was beyond them, they would disappear. The idea behind that did grow to the point where the kings and queens of the world are very delicately walking a line, and we don't like that. Or at least they don't like that. I, after some time, was able to convince them to at least trust me to give you guys a chance to fix this situation and to show that you can be trusted.
Why us?
So I want to note that the bread and butterfly would never spite us like this.
That is true, and that is why I've converted to the Church of Bread and Butterfly.
Uh, Speaking of bread and butterfly, I was able to uh, do a little bit of nurturing for a new god. He is going to pull out of his bag a dream catcher that he is going to hand over to you, Rose. And you can see that the dream catcher has a like a red-ish string on the inside around the outside, which is a dark circle of wood from a dark red tree. Underneath the bottom of that, you can see that there are a couple of ruby crystals and a nice little red feather coming off of the bottom of them. You, Rose, have been given Yeremy's Dreamcatcher. Yeremy is the god of blood,
Ooh.
which is a lot of fun.
Is
This
that
definitely
art?
isn't fair. Arendale's like, if Arendelle had real teeth,
Foaming at the mouth.
she'd be like breaking them right now.
Is that in there? Oh, yep,
Jeremy's,
there it is. Perfect.
Jeremy's Dreamcatcher. Once per day. This is why I asked you.
Yeah, I
Wild shape is a
figured.
free action.
Okay.
So you can wild shape for free once per day and act straight away.
Does it
Balm
count?
of the Summer
Does it
Court.
use one of my wild shape
Yes, it
charges?
does.
Okay.
Balm of the Summer Court now allows you to have either one target gaining the full HP total, or you can split it in half between 2 people.
Okay.
And through the Dreamcatcher, I am going to send you a fun little monster for Bread and Butterfly.
I get a bread and butterfly familiar.
You get a Bread and Butterfly familiar.
I know.
As soon as I learn how to share this, I will be sending you the kind of like the stat block for it. Actually,
Is
I
it?
can do.
Did you already?
The symbol of Val and Rose's friendship.
I
because
know.
Val thought of it.
It's so
It is
special to her.
a creature stat block that you should be able to see in the campaign
in the-
because I'm sharing it because I made it.
Okay. And it will be a familiar, right? And it's.
It's not a familiar yet. I don't know how to make them. I've
I've
just
already,
made it as a monster for now.
I've already added it to my
Um,
familiar list. It's there.
Cool. I'm going to.
Like I can get it on my in the extras tab.
Okay,
You
so I
crack me up.
just sent it into Player's Place. Can you let me know if you can see that for me?
It's one of its abilities. It's okay. You can trust me.
All of them are puns. So
Butter side
usually
up.
it's okay, you can crust me butter side up, your toast, Fakash about it. And they have a reaction called no need to get angry.
Oh my
Me.
god.
Um,
You
but
actually.
yeah, so
This is amazing. It needs better stats.
well, it is a baby. It is a brand new
True.
god. It only has a couple of followers.
Yeah, you have to get people to worship it so it gets stronger.
This is our Beyonce fandom system, where the more people that believe in Bread and Butterfly over time through the campaign, Bread and Butterfly will change and get more powerful.
I'm going to need email addresses for the people in your other campaign so I can send them some promotional material.
We're about to write a book like the Book of Mormon, but it's the Book of Bread and
Book
Butter.
of Bread and Butterfly.
Yeah.
Is Garth going to stop talking about Jesus?
I just heard of a new god.
So, as it's he hands you the Dreamcatcher. By the way, you don't need to attune to these items.
Oh, that's
So
great.
these free up an attunement slot for all of them. Charles kind of takes a notice of you, Arendelle, just like filled with religious wrath right now and envy and jealousy. Okay. I wasn't able to give you a proper object, but we were able to do something else. And he hands you a little golden crystal that he places onto your amulet, your holy symbol. I had to go through everybody's character sheets to find what these things were, by the way.
Like, how did you know what I have? I was like, this is weird.
I didn't look at anything. I did this purely for the research for these items, so I don't actually know or care what you guys have. But
You're
your
the
amulet,
DM. I think you're allowed to look at it.
no, I know, but I want to be surprised. So your
Turns
amulet
out
does start
Arendelle
to.
is Dorothy, and the power was in her the whole time.
So with the golden circle that appears, your amulet does start to glow a beautiful golden color as it starts to shimmer and it starts to pulse a little bit with religious and magical energy. Your amulet has turned from a regular amulet of holy symbol into Woman Jekka's amulet.
Oh.
So although faded, It still instills you with a sense of power and vigor. Whilst everybody else will be getting new items each time, your amulet itself is what will be used as your basically your deity's gift, and over time it will get brighter or more powerful or cleaner, etc. Your ability Turn Undead, which causes an undead to flee, for the turn that they are turned, they are an ally and they will attack other creatures.
Oh, cool.
Everything still applies like normal. They still run away from you for 1 minute. But for the turn that you use it on them, they are an ally. They will attack other creatures, as the power of Womanjeka and Rebirth basically instills them with basically godly fear of the unknown and death, and is like, bro, really. Radiance of the Dawn, which is 30 feet when you clear magical energy or magical darkness. It instills 30 feet and it does a whole bunch of damage if there is something caught in it, unless they are behind total cover. Now it doesn't matter where they are. If they are within 30 feet, they get hit by this. So cover means nothing.
Okay.
I didn't write it down. I need to add it in. It doesn't just affect undead. This affects anything you choose that is hostile in 30 feet of when you do it.
Oh, okay, cool.
You also gain 1 free use of Channel Divinity every day.
Nice.
Okay, awesome.
So that is yours so far.
Arundel's like, look, everybody, I got something too. Look, everybody.
Amazing.
That's
Fascinating.
very nice. And you said that this was just something they already had, right?
Yeah, this is their holy symbol, their amulet that they had before, except now it's like glowing and pulsing
So
with
Rose will
religious energy and
kind
light.
of catch Val's eyes. Yeah, we all got something new. That's very good.
So, as Charles is now kind of like handed over the crystal, you've powered up your amulet, you now have a dream catcher that you have attached or hooked onto a part of your body. Val, your ring has started to infuse you with plenty of energy. Corol, this is for you specifically because
I'll be cool.
I'm gonna be that person. This is gonna prove to see if you watch the whole episode. Coral's
Or at
guiding
least the last 5
hand
minutes.
is a permanently affixed replacement for your hand. It is essentially a new appendage. You can't be removed unless cut off. It can't be detached like a mage hand. Nothing.
Luke Skywalker hand.
Coral's hand does have a new property though, in the fact of he is a paladin that has a 15 feet range of attack that he can
Jeez.
throw his hand out to attack. He is still able to do everything like normal, so he can still smite, he can still do everything because the hand itself is a direct holy symbol and connection to Linrock.
So question, when he attacks, does it shoot off like Iron Man shooting off
It's
a
up to
fist,
him.
or does it stretch out like
It's
Mr.
completely up to him. It can
Go,
be
go,
chained.
gadget.
Like,
It
yeah.
can be chained. It can be go gadget fuck you. It can be
That's
it can
cool.
be like a click off and like a mage hand thing that comes back like a boomerang of some sort.
Cool.
But it
Go,
allows
go,
him
gadget,
to
disembodied
essentially
hand.
it essentially allows him a now total 15 feet attack range.
That's amazing.
It
15
also
feet smite. You're gonna regret giving him that, I think.
it also upgrades the smite damage because now it is directly related to Linrock, his god. So it has now basically gone from a smite into a pure smite, where smite now deals an additional 2d6 at level 5, which upgrades to 3d6 at level 8, 4d6 at 13, 5d6 at 16, and then a 6d6 at 20. So that will level up with him as it goes. And he will get that
I'm sorry.
from level 5.
What do you mean by a pure smite? I'm sorry. I don't...
So smite it itself is just obviously your ability where if you hit something, you can use
Mhm.
a spell slot to afflict smite. This is basically a pure true smite because it is directly from the god themselves, like
I think
through the
it's just
hand. It's not
flavor
just
for
a
more
power.
damage if you're getting
Yeah.
like caught up in that.
Right. Okay. I gotcha.
Yeah.
My fellow players, brothers and sisters in Butterfly,
My fellow Americans.
I think that the fact that we're getting such powerful items means that there's some very, very bad stuff coming our way. It sounds good, but I think it's a bad omen.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it is kind of it does make sense. Obviously, we're about to maybe hit up some bounties, so we're going to need to fight some powerful creatures.
Mm,
There could be some other
Mango's
things as
ready.
well. Also, with the invigoration of these items, I suppose it's only fair that you guys get to level up to level 5, right?
yes,
Yeah.
let's do that. Because 5's a
So
good level.
I was just thinking about that. It's like 7 level. I was like,
after everything, we are going
Oh,
to end it here after getting our items. You will get to be level 5. This is a God's intervention level. So you get to level 5, and everything is like normal. But I'm going to leave the rest
What
for
does that mean?
when it occurs.
What does that
what do you
mean?
mean everything's like normal?
It's just a normal level, isn't it? Level 5.
I don't.
Oh, right. Yeah, God intervention. That's right.
What does that
Orville has been listening.
Torval,
Torval needs to
I
shut
got
up.
words for Torval.
Well, you know what?
I don't
Level
want to
5
get us kicked off Twitch though.
still gets third level spell slots. So, meh,
ooh, I get an
Torval.
extra
Level
attack.
5.
I do have a quick question though.
Yes.
Before you end it, what was the name of the item that Coral got?
Coral's guiding hand. It's the only one that's directly named after him. Because he was there when it was given to him. Whereas Charles was given the other items, and it was your crane, which was a gift from Garak, that became the item for you.
I'm excited
Arendelle's just
about
like,
this item.
I'll just hold on to this for him. Wait.
Rip his
I
arm
just
off.
hold on to his hand as you're like holding Coral up off the ground.
He's gonna walk around holding his hand all the time. Oh my god.
I want to be a part of the smite. So,
Well, I'm afraid of what that meant with the god intervention, but 5th level's fun. 3rd level
yes.
spells. But now I don't know if I want it. You made me think I don't want it.
I don't know, everything has a reason, doesn't it?
Yeah, you said that earlier too, and I don't
I
know if
mean,
I.
let's be honest. We have already been quite openly talking with the gods. The gods have been a part of it quite heavily. We've played
Mm,
with time and reality. This campaign isn't simple. And I don't know why I made it so fucking difficult for myself,
did
but
you
I
hate
am
yourself?
loving it. Oh yeah, 100%. But aside from that, the campaign is fun.
No, yeah, I'm having a blast. I just I don't
Mhm.
trust anything anymore.
Good.
Uh,
Don't.
so we're ending it
I
there,
found
right?
myself getting angry, which makes me know that I'm having fun.
All right. Well, with that, we will wrap it up here. Thanks, Psychic, for running yet another great session of Temptations. I'm having a blast playing this. I love
Or
Rose.
Helen.
I think Rose is becoming one of my favorite PCs I've played too. So
Yeah.
I'm afraid she's
I was
set
just
up
saying
for.
that Val is my favorite
Is Val your
PC.
favorite? I like.
Yeah,
I
Val's
also like Rose and Val's friendship. It just warms
yeah,
my
it's cute.
heart.
It's
Uh,
it's like pure and simple, and it's
it is. It is. They just love each other in just this pure, just this pure way. And oh my god, the first time she summons Bread and Butterfly, you're totally gonna be there.
oh yeah, for sure.
The
I need
Uh,
Bread
to
and
figure out how
Butterfly
to
for me.
turn that into a familiar, because at the moment it's just a monster block.
Yeah, it is just
But
a
I'll
monster
do some
block.
googling that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can add it into my familiar so it's there. Um,
Okay. Cool.
but yeah. So that will be it for us for the week. We will be back next Monday with Kupo Quest, the original version. So check that out. And then next week, we also have Golden Vault, and it'll be Dragonbane week. So no Temptations next week, but we've got Dragonbane. If you think we're hilariously funny and you'd like to talk to us some more, you should join the Discord. And I'm gonna say it because I'm gonna give Killer the night off reminding people. And then again,
Reminding you to remind people.
and we do have a Patreon if you want to. You can join for free, or you can chip in as cheap as $1 if you want to help us just cover the cost of some of this stuff. You don't have to, but I try to put up some fun stuff. You can get the official bread and butterfly promotional material you see below me on the Patreon right now. It's free to the public. You don't have to join, but you should go over there and check it out.
Put in the comments if you want some bread and butterfly merch.
Oh my
Very
god,
cool.
yeah. I
My
should make
gosh.
hats. Should make a hat.
I have
Where
to
did you-
convince Wifekins to use her Cricut so we can make at least us some shirts.
We could totally do that. Totally get that
Lord.
done. Yeah. I found this one off the internet, this picture of bread and butterfly. So if we were gonna do that, I'd probably commission a nice bread and butterfly.
Yeah.
You want to know what the funniest part is? When you sent that in the chat and I saw it, you're not going to believe it, but that's the exact image that I had that I was trying to upload for Bread and Butterfly.
I noticed it looks
Like,
very
I have
similar.
it saved on my computer that's the image that I wanted to use.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a Canva subscription, so I make stupid shit whenever I get bored. And so I was like, I'm gonna make some bread and butterfly promotional material. Anyway, that'll be it for us for the week. We'll let you all get to bed. Thank you all for watching. Neff, thanks for hanging out for a little bit here with us and watching the show live. For those of you that watch this on YouTube, thank you also. Don't forget to like, subscribe, because we do a lot of shows. You should check out the Final Fantasy XIV tabletop game. It's brand new, and it's been a lot of fun. So it's been a lot of fun so far. Other than that, though, I think we're going to head out for tonight. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all next week. Bye.
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 Bang.